Okay, so we're going to come back today and talk about finding a missing angle. So when you're finding the missing angle, you type in the calculator second and then whatever function you're doing to get the angle, okay? So we're going to use the second function here. So if I'm trying to find the sine of A, so let me see. If we're trying to find the sine of angle A, I would do second sine, second sine, and then I'm going to do alpha y equals to get my fraction, 1/2. So I do second sine, the number, and here I get 30. So that means the angle A, is 30 degrees. Okay? So again, second, and then you're going to do sine, cosine, tangent, whatever it is. And then you're going to put your number in parentheses. Okay? So let's try number 5. Okay? For number 5, I have the sine of B is 0.4266. Okay, so they're telling me that's the side length. I want to find the angle, what angle B is. So I do second sine and then type in what I have here, 0.4266. And that means that the angle B, is equal to 25 degrees because we're going to get to the nearest whole number. So 25 degrees. Number 7, we have cosine of C is 3/5. So if I want to find out the angle measure there, I would do second cosine. That's my inverse function. And then I'll put in my fraction, 3/5. And I get 53 degrees. Okay, and the last one here, same thing. This one looks a little scary because it's got a radical, but we still do it the same way. The tangent of angle E is equal to the radical 3/3. So again, I'm going to use my inverse function, second tangent, and then I'm going to get my fraction there and do radical 3/3, close parentheses, and I get 30 degrees. And that's it. That's how you find a missing angle if you know the side. Okay? So remember these 3 problems from our last class. We're going to go ahead and figure out how to solve these now using those inverse functions. So number 3, we're still going to set it up this similar to how we did it before. I'm going to start by drawing myself on angle X. And I'm going to label the sides that I'm given. So the side that's across from me here is angle 5. That's my opposite side. And the side that's right next to me right here, I call that my adjacent side. So if I have a triangle and I have my opposite and adjacent sides, that means I want to use tangent. So I'm going to set up and write the tangent of angle X is equal to my opposite side over my adjacent side. So it's equal to 5/12. Okay, so just like we did on that previous page, all we're going to do is second tangent, or the inverse of tangent, and we're going to do 5/12. So that tells me that my angle measure for X is equal to 23 degrees. Okay, and sometimes you'll see it written like this, tangent, inverse tangent of X equals 5/12. And then you can type it in that way. You can do it that way so you can see the notation there a little bit better. So let's look at number 5. Number 5, same kind of thing. I'll start off by drawing myself on that angle that we're given here, angle X, and I'm going to label the sides in relation to me. So across from me, that's my opposite side, is 4, and across from that right angle, that's the hypotenuse. So I'm always going to label my sides first. So if I'm looking at my opposite and hypotenuse side, that means I'm going to use sine. So the sine, or inverse sine, of X is equal to my opposite over hypotenuse, so is equal to 4/6. So again, I'm going to do second sine, or inverse of sine, and then put in that fraction, 4/6, You don't have to reduce it first, but you can if you want. So I get x, that angle measure there, is about 42 degrees when I round it to the nearest whole number. Okay? And then let's check the last one, number 6. If you think you got the hang of it, go ahead and pause this, try it on your own, and then watch the answer. Okay? So I'm going to start off by drawing myself on the angle that we're given, and then label the sides accordingly. So across from that right angle is my hypotenuse. The side that's right next to me we call adjacent. So if I'm using the adjacent and hypotenuse side, that means that I want cosine, adjacent over hypotenuse. So I'll set it up as the inverse cosine of x is equal to my adjacent side over my hypotenuse side. And then, easy peasy, we're just going to put in the calculator. Second cosine, get our fraction, and we have 10 over 15, which means that my angle x is about 48 degrees. And that is it. So again, we had 23 degrees for number 3, 42 degrees for number 5, and 48 degrees for number 6.